Hey guys, welcome to Geek Slider. In this video, we'll be talking about two sums problem from Leetcode. So let's go to the question. So I hope you have seen the introduction of this particular series. So this series is for very basic people, beginners and noobs. So I would be explaining from the absolute, like from the beginner's perspective. So let's go to the question. So it is given an array of integer num and an integer target, return indices of two numbers such that they add up to target. You may assume that each input would have exactly one solution, and you may not use the same element twice. You can return the answer in any order. Cool. So sometimes what happens is if this question is not clear, you need to repeat it once or twice or read it once or thrice at least, and you will be able to get a little bit hang of it. And still, if you are not able to understand, the example part is the best one to understand. So for example, this is the input which we have been given 2, 7, 11, 15. So this is total 4. We have 4 elements here, and the target is 9. So the two of them should add up to 9. So here, if you see 2 and 7. So first of all, you ignore how to write the code or what is logic behind it. Just think how, like, with your just think logically without thinking how to solve this or how to code it up. Just think that how we can solve it just by our own brain. So like for example, 2, 7, 11, 15. So now to reach target 9, so 2 plus 7 is 9. So the elements we should return is 0 and 1, which is explained here. And for the second input, 3 to 4, 3 elements are there and the target is 6. So 3 plus 4 will lead to 5, so that won't be the case. But if you 2 plus 4 is 6, so the elements would be 1 and 2 as mentioned. So similarly here. So and these are the constraints which we can ignore. So the same thing I have shown here, 2, 7, 11, 15. So these are the elements and these are the index values. So I hope you are very well aware that the first index is always starts from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and the target is 9. So 2 plus 7, 9. So somewhat similar. So exactly, so if you see here, what we need to do is, if we can utilize two for loops, and in the first for loop it would be the first element, and the next element we can either check if it if the other elements add up to the target, or we can subtract from the target and see if the element is present here. So the same thing I have illustrated here. Like for example, how to tell, like suppose the same case, if I take 2, 7, 11, 15, we can either first we can keep this in our first for loop, and in the second for loop we can check for each element if that adds up to the target. And the another way is, what we can do is, we can keep one element in the first for loop, and then we can subtract the target from the elements. Like for example, if we have selected 2, now we will be now we will be subtracting this from the target. So target is 9, so target minus 2 is 7, right? Because target is 9. So now we will see if the remaining element has 7. So if it is 7 is there, so we will return 0 and 1. So the same thing I have illustrated here. So but if you see here, I have done a noob's mistake here. So let me see what exactly the mistake I did here. If you can see, so here 3 to 4 and the target is 6. So first element I am selecting 3. So now what I am trying to do is 3 plus 2 5, 3 plus 4 7, and so this doesn't match. So next time we are iterating by selecting second. So now again 2 plus 3 5 and 2 plus 4 6. So this value we are getting. So this is a brute force method, but you can ignore this for now. So this is just as I told earlier, you can either add or use subtraction. So what, if you can see, what I did here is known as brute force. But here also, this is the worst case of brute force, because what if you carefully observe, so that's why I'm telling, like, this is a noob's mistake. Even in the case of brute force, what I did is, I am doing this twice, which should not happen, because already we have checked it. So the thing would be, so for the next, we should always iterate from the right side. Like suppose we have selected 3. So since 3 plus 2 and 3 plus 4 is not equal to 6, so next time when we select 2, we should not add 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, because already that we have computed. So the next time we just need to add all the elements which are remaining from the right side. So that mistake I did. So that is what I am telling. This is even worse than what brute force thing. So now we know that to solve this, So the good method is just by brute force, by selecting what all elements are to the right and if they add up to the target. So that is a good way. But if you see here, the complexity of that would be uh, O of big O of n square. So now you might say ask like for the noobs here, like what is big O of n square? So even I had the doubt. So I have linked up one video of Love Babar, that person. So he's explaining nicely what is time complexity and space complexity. So in a layman's term, I will also link up one video, so at least you guys know what is Hotstar. So it's a video streaming website. So I have posted one link there. So if you see there, they are they are telling like how like millions of users concurrently like visit visit their app during the video streaming of Indian cricket team's match. So at those times, even millisecond of delay matters a lot. So at that time, so both time complexity and space complexity are very important. So when you're simply printing probably a calculator or a hello world programs, time complexity and space complexity, it doesn't matter. But when it comes to scalability, so the time complexity and space complexity matters a lot. So that's why in the interviews they would ask about time and space complexity. So now to solve this, so since one approach is like O of n square, but since in the question if you check they're asking we need to implement something which is lesser than this. So now to solve this efficiently, we have something known as hash map algorithm. So since I already told I would be using Python, so an a ready-made implementation of hash map in Python is dictionary. Dictionary is already available, so we would be utilizing dictionary to solve this question. So what dictionary does is it has both an index and value. So that is how it does it. Now let's see how exactly uh, Python dictionary can solve this, or what is the logic of using Python dictionary to solve this question. Okay, now as you can see here, we are implementing the solution using Python dictionary, which is the hash map or hash table implementation in Python. So if we see here, when we implement this particular thing, uh, one second. So the time complexity using dictionary would be big O of 1, which is a lot better than uh, using big O of n square. So what exactly we are trying to do is, since we have a key value pair in dictionaries, so what we are doing is, so this is for example 3 to 4 are three this is the three things which we need to compute and the target is 6. So in the first iteration for loop, what we would be trying is we would select 3, and what we would do is we would subtract the target minus the element we have currently selected. So the target minus 3 would be 3. So we will check if it is present in the key value pair. If it is not present in the key value pair, what we would do is we would in the key we would put the value, and in the value table we would put the index value. Like suppose the index value here is 0, so we would put there in the dictionary. So this is the dictionary. Okay, cool. So next time what we would do is, now we would select 2 and we would subtract t minus 2, so that would be 4. We would see if 4 is existing in the dictionary. Since it's not there, uh, we would push the value 2 in the key, and we would push the index value of 2, so that is 1. So next time 4, so t 6 minus 4 is 2, 6 minus 4 is 2, and we would see if it is already present in the dictionary. So if we can easily see here 2 is present already. So now what we would do is, according to the question, it asks us to return both the index value. So we would return the value, like we can either return, so 2's value is 1 comma 4 is 0 1 2, so 2, or or 2 1. So this would be the final answer. So according to constraints, this satisfied what exactly is the need. Like, so since we are sure that exactly one solution would be existing, and we are not even asked to use we are not supposed to use the same element twice. So this logic would solve the question. So now let's implement this in Python code. Okay, cool. Now we are on our Leetcode screen. So this is the question, and as we already discussed, so I have already implemented this. So you can just ignore this thing. So this would be coming by default whenever you open this particular question. So as you can see here, I am creating a dictionary known as SumDict here. So now next what I'm using is I'm creating a for loop, and I'm using this particular function as enumerate. So I know most of us won't be knowing what exactly is enumerate. So for that I would be giving a link in the description. So just you can read more from here what exactly does this does. So it's very convenient, which helps us to iterate automatically using counters. So no need of manually typing for loops. I mean, this is a easy way in short. So what we can see here is, so when this for loop runs, so as we previously discussed, so this is another variable other. So now what it checks is, it tries to subtract target minus value, and so it will store that value here. So now what, and if condition is passed on, and if it checks if this particular thing is present in the key value pair, and if it is present, it would be returning both the key value, I mean both the index values. So for example, it's 2 7 11 15. So here, first of all, what it will do is, it will check if 9 minus 2 7 would be stored here, and it would check in the dictionary named sumdict, do we have 7 here. So since it's not there, first it will be first what to say, storing that value. So in the next iteration, whenever it will check if it is there. So once it is there, once it's confirmed that if it is present there, it will just return the index values, I mean the indices for both of them. Yeah, it will return the indices. So now we can check how exactly this is working. So as you can see here, 2 7 9 15, it is exactly returning what we need. So I'll just submit it. Hopefully it should work. Cool. So as we can see, it is running, and the runtime is also 24, and since we are using dictionary, the time complexity would be big O of 1. So that's it guys. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.